So we have come till that component did mount. Okay, class 1, class 2 was happening. This is based on something else. Okay, next after that, this is an API. This one was something, the backend URL where we have sent the data. Let's come to the next example, class 3.js. In that, we learn the input output from the JSON server using class component, how to pick the value from text box, and how to communicate with the backend, how to send and receive. So for that, you can start your JSON server as well. You have JSON server, JSON API folder, data.json file was there. You can start that. JSON hyphen server space. Minus watch space data.json space minus port, then 1 2 3 4. JSON API, this one was bringing the data, this one was able to save the data. So we can come to our class 3.js file. Import we can do. React comma component from React. Now import Xclose also from AXIOS. Write a class my class 3 extends component export default my class 3 export default my class 3. Let's go inside, use the constructor. Constructor will be super function we can call inside, and then this dot state equal to user list one message second. What other details we have here? Name, mobile, age, education. New name, new age, new mobile, new education. So these all are for the input purpose. These all are for input purpose and user list for output purpose. Now we can write a next function to bring the data that is available under the JSON API server. We can write here called get user, and we can call here axios dot get http colon / localhost colon 1234 / user dot then response, and then the response dot data you need to send to the set state. This dot set state, inside the set state user list is the array name where response dot data has to assign. Response dot data has to assign. Yeah. Now this function we need to call somewhere using another life cycle method that is called component did mount. Component did mount. Did mount. Call inside this dot get user. So on page load, this three function will execute. First, constructor is a lifecycle method. Second one you have called render. Third you have called component did mount. Component did mount come and it will call the get user. Get user will come and it will give the data to user list under the state, and once the value will get updated under the state, the render function will call automatically. Now right below render, inside the render we can follow again for return. We can use here again similar structure 3-9 combination, division, class name, container, and empty 3-4. You can keep 3-9 combination inside a row or div class name, call hyphen lg hyphen 12 is also fine. Text center we can keep. How many details we have asked here from user? Only 3 details. 1, 2, 3, 4 details, and one is this one for save button. No problem. You can use here in one text. We can create and we can display. Come down, follow one more 12, or maybe within the same 12, we can create a table, and in that table we can list out the users. Class name, table hyphen SHADOW shadow and empty 4 submit. T head tr th id, next call name, next call file number, next call what we have called age, next we have called education. Now the data is going to come and store under the user list variable. So you will follow the t-body you can use. Under t-body you can go here and you can use the map function. This dot state dot user list dot reverse dot map. So now array will get reverse and then map will apply for that. Info comma index we can write. Info comma index. Okay, so return we can write here tr tr. We can follow inside key property index and info dot name id info dot id info info dot name info dot mobile info dot age info dot education now link this file in the routing and check once this data is loading or not. This would come under the routing my class 3. File name is my class 3. My class 2, my class 3 from class 3.cs file. Data is not coming. User is okay. My class 3 is fine. Here class 3, what I made mistake. User list we have. So okay here. Get user function is also fine. Localhost :1234 / user response state user list response dot data. This is also correct. Component is not this dot Get user. Anything wrong? Data is coming. Data. So I have call update. Okay, it should be did mount. Component did mount will call on page load. Component did update will happen if you delete the record from the table. Update when you do the changes under the state, then component did update will happen. This is the mount. Mount means on load. Update means on delete anything from the state. If we update anything, then update will happen. If you delete anything, update will happen. If you add anything, update will happen. Okay. But if the page is loading, that is called component did mount. Okay, so hope your data is listing here. Now we can add one same thing. Component did update. But component update when it is going to happen here, you are going to send the data to backend. If it is array based, then it will be here only. Okay, no problem. Let's come. Now come here under the division and follow one H3 maybe H4 add user. You can use a div tag. Class equal to M2. All the side there will be margin of certain pixel. Now we can go inside and we can follow one text box. Input type equal to text. Class name you can write M2. If you write form control here, the text box will become full width. That is not required as of now. Placeholder we can add here. Placeholder name. Like this textbooks for why we created, placeholder will guide us. Okay, name, mobile, age, and education. Name, mobile, age, and education. Okay, fine, ready. Text box should be ready. One button is also required here, save button. Save. Class name btn hyphen primary. So hope one button is ready. Now we'll enter the value here and click on save button. This will also hit to the API. In this, we will learn how to take the value from text box using class component. How to take the value of text box using class component. Okay. So come to the now code. We have to write 4 functions to take individual value of each text box. 4 functions are required. So for that, we have to write a function called pick name. A small difference will happen in class component. Picking the value from text box is a small changes are there. It remains same like Java's the functional component. The implementation is different. Suppose we'll write here pick name. Pick name. And here only earlier this function we used to call here. Now we'll write here a object of the function, and then where you call this function alert object dot target dot value. Object dot target dot value. Where you are going to call this function, it will bring their value. For example, this is the text box. I will go for the first text box and will write here on change. Call the function this dot pick name. That's all. Nothing to write else. Directly call this dot pick name. Now pick name function, when you will call, it will create the object of current box, current function, and then where you call this one, their value it will pick and give the alert. This is for one text box. You can enter the value under the first text box and check once are we getting any kind of alert or not. Now run this file, enter the value under the first text box, any value, whichever the value you enter, that should come as an alert while typing itself. When we type, that value will come as an alert. Next, after this value, instead of keeping as a alert, we have to send this value to a state. This dot set state. Under the set state, variable name is called new name. That new name, the value of text box we need to bring and we need to give. obj.target.value. That meaning when the user start typing one by one, character by character, the value of text box it will pick and give to the variable called object. Object object. It can be any variable. It's just like a parameter. It can be anything. Okay. Next, after this, similar way, we have to write one more function. Pick name, pick mobile, pick mobile, new mobile. Write one more function. Pick age, new age, pick edu, new edu. Last one function called save function. Last function called save function. Alert this dot state dot new name. Hope ready? Come down. Now for text boxes, we have to call this function. First text box we have made ready. Second text box on change. This dot pick mobile. Next pick age. Pick age. video and button click save button. One click equal to this dot save. Enter the value, click on save button. Any alert is coming? See, alert is coming here. Now this all the value we will collect and will post to the JSON server. Completed till here. Now come then, we'll create a JSON object and we'll post to the backend. So go here and then see this functions what I wrote, pick name, pick mobile. Function was in class component, functional component also. We have written the similar function, but that was using the hooks so that the way of writing was different. Now it is class component. Again, you are writing individual function to take the value from text box, but the way of writing is different. Their function and variable we used to declare together. Now we have a function variable separate and the function separate. Inside the function, you are changing the value of variable and you are bringing the value from the text box when the user start typing. So to this URL, we have to post the data in the form of JSON. So go here and first create a variable URL equal to this URL where we are going to post the data. URL equal to URL where we are going to post the data. Next, after this, come down below. You have to create an object, a new variable, user info equal to. You have to keep full name. Value will come from this dot state dot new name, comma. Next will be called age. So it will get the data from this dot state dot new age. Next we will have call what else, gender or something else, mobile. mobile colon this dot state dot new mobile comma edu colon this dot state dot new edu this dot state dot new edu. Next, after this, exios dot post URL should be there and user info should be there. Dot then response. You can use again set state here. This dot set state. This dot set state. Inside that set state, the old values whichever we have, the array, not array, this all we need to reset to the empty. We need to create a message so that we can display to the user. This dot state dot new name plus added in list. Next name mobile is all becoming clear. After doing this all, we need to call here again get user so that it should reload the list. Set state end here, this dot set state. After this, we can use this function to reload the list. To reload the API call after adding. This is going to complete saving the data, clear the text box and display the message. Save the data, clear the text box and display the message. All three. Okay, ready? Now let's see how it is going to happen. We have to clear the text box, but first we'll try to save on data, and after saving we can see the list is happening or not. If those is happening, then we can go ahead for the remaining task, clearing the text box as well as displaying the next message. So if now any new record is able to add or not, SI YARAM 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 age save. This will get added here into the list. Now text box we need to clear. Using class component is able to pick the value. Saving under the API.
Yeah, for me, the empty record is getting saved. Means ID is getting generated in JSON. But
Check this URL. The URL will be correct. This variable are you passing or not? Inside the variable values are not. Then this functions what you have written on change, are you calling the function or not? Those are the matter. Only ID saving means you are not able to pass the value. Now how to clear the text box? We can come down and simple we can write here value equal to this dot state dot new name. The variable already is clear on the top. Same variable we are calling below. Your text box will also become clear. New mobile, new age, new education, edu. What else we have? Nothing else. This is to clear the text box. After that, in a paragraph, you can display the message. This dot state dot, this dot state dot message. So whichever the variable is generated, message that should appear there. Text color, if you want, you can change. Class name. Text name there. Able to save and list. SSS added in the list, it's a reflect here. We can add a delete button quickly and we can delete from the list. So let's go write a function called delete user. URL remains same. Delete user ID and name. This is the URL. In that we have to do user slash plus ID, user slash plus ID. Next, after that, user slash plus ID plus we can go next code. Exos dot delete. Exos dot delete URL dot then response. After that, we can add here set state. This set state name, not name, message colon name plus deleted successfully. Name plus deleted successfully. After deleting that, again you can call this dot get user. This dot get user. Here component did update is not able to find the place to apply, so we can create next example to see the component bit update how it work. Okay, light come down. We will call this function delete user. Let me share in the chat as well. Delete user function. We have to create a th here called action. Action. In that we can write here delete class name btn hyphen danger btn hyphen sm. Next, after that, and right here next call on click equal to this dot delete user under the delete user, use the bind method. User dot bind. Inside that, you have to pass the first as a piece, second as a info.id, info.me. These three parameters pass bind. Pass this all value to the bind function. By a bind function, the data will go to the delete user function, and delete user function will delete easily. And after that, your details will be listed out again after delete.
Siaram, just one thing. So I'm able to delete the data, but while editing means while saving, whenever I'm writing any text on the text box, my table is updating again. Means sometime
It's happening for me also. Maybe some other people is not happening. Anyone not happening? No? I'm not able to find that problem where that come from.
okay, I thought because of something related to component did mount. That's why
No.
update. Sorry, component did update.
Update we have not used here. Component did update we have not called it.
So done. Right.
Okay, now let me show you. When I go and delete this one, SSS, it should get removed. So SSS deleted, Rahim Alex deleted, Alex deleted. Let's get deleted as well. Go working.